Hi, this is Simon Meacher from Engaging Data, and in today's video we're going to talk about how to send notifications from our data warehouse out to a Slack channel. Data warehouse notification has changed in the last 10-15 years. Emails were predominantly the most common way of sending notifications out, but things have changed. New communication methods such as Slack or Teams have evolved to provide more readily available and quick notifications through to teams and individuals. The beauty of Teams and Slack is you can build specific channels of communication to accurately and quickly push notifications through to individuals and teams so that they can start business processes or react to change very effectively. In this video, we're going to build a Slack channel to receive our data warehouse notifications. We're going to use Westgate Red to facilitate all the notifications and PowerShell as the code base to push the notifications through to Slack. So let's start things off by going over to the desktop and configuring Slack. So the first thing we're going to do is set up Slack. We're going to create a new channel, and then we're going to create the connection that enables the warehouse to talk to that channel. So you can see on the screen here, we're in the Engaging Data Slack channel, and I'm just going to add a channel. So this is the same sort of setup that you're going to go through whenever you build a channel, and I'm building this so I can add all the people within Engaging Data to the channel, and I'm going to add all people specifically, but we can add other people. So now the channel's been created, users have been added, we're going to go into the channel details, and we're going to go to the integration section of this channel, and we're going to click on Add App. Now, inside of here, there's lots of integration that you can pick from, and what we're going to be looking for is the webhook. So by typing in web, you can then pick up the incoming webhook, and we're going to install that onto this channel. Now, it will open up a page and take you to the settings on the website. So on the Slack site, we can then add to Slack channel. So we'll click on Add to Slack, and now we get the setup and configuration for this webhook. So all your terms and conditions in here, so please read through these carefully and make sure they're acceptable for your organization. So from down here, you can select or create a new channel to send the notifications to. So we're going to pick up the data warehouse notifications channel we've just created, and then we're going to click on Add Incoming Webhook Integrations. So the setup instructions have come back, and we have the URL. Now this is the URL we're going to keep safe. I'm going to use that as part of our script in the next phase. But Slack also go a step further and give you some messaging examples, how to add links, how to customize everything. So I'm going to copy the URL here. Now I've copied that, I'm going to save that in a text file for later on. I'm also going to change the image. So we've selected an image, it can be any size, but I'm just going to crop it down so we can see the majority of this, and you can see that that's changed that. And then you get a preview of how that's going to work. So I'm going to click on save for now. And the important bit is the URL, we'll need that for the script. So now let's head over to the data warehouse server, configure the script, and see how we can post to the Slack channel. So here we are on our Windows Scheduler service. So this is the service that will monitor the data warehouse jobs and send out issues and failure notifications and pass notifications when certain points are triggered through our data pipelines. So we're using PowerShell in this case, but it's a very simple script to adapt out to use Python and other programming languages. And the way we've set this up is we have a few parameters that we're handling and passing through. You can set this up to have more or less. We've got some very basic bits. This is all the information and variables we want to add in. So we have things like the date and time of the incident. You can then say, let's put in development for now, Development Data Warehouse is the name of the service. We've also got help, something's gone wrong, because this is going to be a failure notification. You could put in an incident number, so if you have sequence numbers which exist in Warescape, you can pull out the sequence numbers so it helps the end user tie it up to the job that's gone wrong. And then we have HTML data which we're using for other things. So what happens in this point, these variables will be swapped out at the notification down here, and we'll come on to that in a second. So I'm going to leave that blank for the moment. And then in the webhook, this is collecting our URL. So our URL is what we copied from the previous step that was provided to us when we set up the Slack channel and integrated the webhook. We're using it as a variable. You can hard code it in if you'd like. Obviously we're protecting our Slack channel, but you'll find out the best way for you. And then because the payload being sent to the webhook, the content of the message being sent to the webhook is a JSON format, I've started to pre-format the way I want that message to be described. And what I tend to do here is create little tags, little places that we can put information, and then afterwards I will replace out those tags with the variables above. Of course, you've got the option just to put the information straight in within PowerShell. You can grab the variable, paste it in, and then it will then include that in the message, or you can go down the route of swapping out as I've done here. We tend to do this because if a client wants to go between PowerShell and Python, this kind of technique helps to translate between the different coding standards. Relatively simple. Obviously, you can pick something that works for you. Now, because the URL is open and it's been configured, and the authentication is just knowing the webhook exists, when I fire this script off, all I need to do is invoke a REST command to send to the URL, post the notification, and the notification body is the converted JSON file. And we're not looking to get any issues, but we do have a try catch. So if that REST fails, then we're going to get something to say update to Slack went wrong. But now if I minimize this window at the same time so we can see Slack, I can execute this code, and then we can open up to see that the sequence number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and the issue, date and time, and help something's gone wrong has appeared in our Slack channel. And just to prove it works again, and then there we go, another issue, say it's gone wrong again. So you can now build up the content that you want to bring in from your warehouse and use that webhook to send the information straight out to your Slack channel. And what we've done is taken it a step further. So we use this template. The template is, we've decided to use a script that will go to the warehouse and pull more information out about what's going on with the job, and we feed that through. So the PowerShell script will run, it will be given the sequence number of the job from Warescape, it will go into the warehouse, it will pull the audit information out about that job, embed it into the JSON payload, and then push that out to Slack. So we have a host script that builds up the file, and we have in our job, if I go to configure our main job, we have a failure command. So we can also have a complete command. So if I pop it in here, and all this is doing is it's running to the notification, and it's going to provide the sequence number, and then it's going to say this is the notification. So if we want to put a title, then if it fails or if it succeeds, then we're going to get a message. Ordinarily, we would just ask for it to tell us when it's failed, or you may have some instances where you need to notify a business that the data's been updated. And we'll just set that job off. So now we can see that job has completed successfully. Let's hop over to see what it says in our Slack channel. And there we go. We can see here that we've included a summary of when the job started, when it finished, and what happened. And we've actually gone to the point where it will loop through and build out all the tasks of everything it started off. This needs a little bit more work, but it is something that we're working on to provide more information. So as you can see, now we have that new job. The overall job has published back into Teams to say it's complete. Now we're working on building this out to provide us breakdown steps to the detail of each task and how how it's completed, and that's still work in progress. But as you can see here, you can repeat, you can show more or less information, and it's going to give you all the information that you design into it. So if you want to put something in that is just very lightweight, like we did in the first one, which says help, something's gone wrong, you can build it that way, or you can expand it out to provide more information, more rich content. But obviously the limitation really is what you can and cannot send out to your Slack channel. So there you have it. We have now set up a Slack channel to receive our dedicated notifications from our warehouse. It's really straightforward and simple, but please consider the security around doing this. What data you're sending out? Do you have permissions to send the data out? It is a publicly available API, so you need to make sure that you've covered all your bases to enable sending data outside of your organization. The other consideration is making sure you've kept the JSON payload as small as possible. Making huge JSON files and pushing it through to the API slows things down in our experience. So we've gone with a just enough approach. Just enough information to make it relevant and make it reactive. So can you get your teams doing what they need to do? Can you give them just enough information and maybe push them to somewhere else to pick up the more detailed information that they can then do their job or react the way they need to react? So we've had a lot of fun building out this API. We've created so many different versions for specific notifications. As an example, we now send a notification out to the team to say when the data is ready for us to consume. We've built another one out just for the support team so that they can react and fix something when it's broken. And I'm sure you'll be able to pick out things from this video and adapt it into your organization. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've taken something away from this. Drop some notes in the comments. Let us know how you're using this code, how you're intending to use this code, and we can collaborate back and let you know how things are growing and evolving. In the next couple of months, we have some brilliant videos planned to be released. More like this, more collaboration, more information about how you can adapt things out, just to give you some ideas of what is possible, what the art of the possible is. But until then, thank you very much for stopping by, and we'll catch you next time.